Have you ever stepped off a plane, looked around, and felt your entire life shift in a single moment? That was me, standing in Heathrow Airport with two suitcases, a racing heart, and a dream that suddenly felt both too big and too real. I took a deep breath, the cold London air hitting my face like a welcome and a warning at the same time. I had no idea what was waiting for me outside those automatic doors, only that everything I used to call normal was thousands of miles behind me. This is my story, the journey of a new student in the UK, full of excitement, fear, chaos, beauty, and growth. And today, I'm taking you with me. Before that journey began, there was the goodbye, the kind that breaks you and builds you at the same time. My room was a disaster. Clothes everywhere, my passport inside a folder my mother checked every 10 minutes, and me trying to pretend I wasn't terrified. Everyone said, "You're so lucky to be going abroad," but luck didn't pack those bags. Luck didn't fight for that visa or dream for those opportunities. It was me. And yet, the moment I hugged my parents at the airport, luck was the last thing on my mind. My mother's eyes were filled with a quiet worry. My father kept adjusting my backpack like it wasn't already perfect. Their hands lingered on my shoulders a few seconds longer than usual, and then they let go. And with every step I took away from them, the world felt bigger and I felt smaller. That's the real beginning of every international student's story, the moment you leave home, not knowing when you'll return the same. Touchdown in the UK felt like landing on another planet. The cold was the first thing that introduced itself to me. A dramatic, icy slap to say, "Welcome to the UK." People were moving everywhere with purpose. Red buses flew past like scenes from a movie. Accents hit my ears like a language I almost, but not quite, understood. Everything was new. Everything was fast. And I was just standing there with my suitcase wheels refusing to cooperate. The first challenge? The trains. Oh, the trains. If you've never used a UK train system before, imagine being dropped inside a maze where everyone else has a map except you. Line names, platform changes, announcements that sounded like riddles. I was overwhelmed. I stood at a ticket machine staring at it like it was written in ancient code. A woman behind me smiled warmly and said, "Do you need help, love?" That one word, love, confused me. I mean, we had known each other for 4 seconds, but she guided me through the ticket process, pointed toward the right platform, and sent me on my way. Even in the chaos, there was kindness, and that kindness was something I would notice again and again throughout my stay. Dragging my suitcase onto that train felt like my first victory. I sat by the window, watching buildings fly by, each one whispering, "This is your new home now." When I arrived at my student accommodation, I expected something magical. What I got was a small, plain room with white walls, a tiny bed, and a desk. But the moment I started unpacking, placing photos on the wall, arranging my books, hanging my clothes, it slowly transformed from an empty space into something personal, something safe, something that would eventually become my sanctuary in a foreign land. The culture shocks hit quickly. In the UK, people queue for everything, and I mean everything. I once stood in a line without even knowing what it was for, just because everyone else was. Another thing, people say sorry, even when it's your fault. Someone bumped into me once and still apologized. And when someone says, "You all right?" don't panic. They're not checking your health. It's just their way of saying hello. The weather? Let's just say I saw all 4 seasons in one day and accepted that carrying an umbrella is a survival strategy, not an option. My first day at university felt like walking into a movie. The campus was huge, with buildings that looked older than my entire country. Students were everywhere, confident, stylish, laughing, rushing, existing like they already belonged. Meanwhile, I was doing my best impression of someone who knew where they were going, staring at my phone every few seconds, even though it wasn't helping at all. But then the classes began, and suddenly the fear faded. The professors encouraged open discussion. Students from all over the world sat together, sharing ideas, accents blending into a beautiful mix. For the first time since arriving, I felt a spark. I thought, maybe I can do this. Maybe I belong here. Making friends was awkward at first. Everyone seemed to already have their own group. But one day, I got lost looking for a lecture hall, and so did another student. We were both staring at a map like absolute beginners. We laughed, struggled together, found our way together, and just like that, I made my first friend in the UK. From there, things got easier. I met classmates, flatmates, people from my home country,